Let's now focus on another big derby game coming up in the Premier League this weekend. Manchester derby time, lads. City against United. And check this one out. If United win this and then win their game in hand, they actually would go above Manchester City in the table. I mean, who would have thought that a few weeks ago, given their spiraling start under Erik ten Hag? But Nick Mendola, I mean, what do you expect from this game in particular? Because all signs point to City dominating this season, dominating this game, just like they've dominated this rivalry in recent seasons. But United have had some good results against City, some weird ones, right? And they kind of almost know how to play against Pep Guardiola teams. But it's a different United team, different group of players, different manager. So it's going to be very interesting this weekend.
Yeah, in that building, it does feel like this has the recipe for a reality check for Manchester United. I think they have some players who will be fresh and rested, and I think they'll be up for the challenge. But it's still very difficult to break down Man City. And while United have the horses to do that, I think if they really want to do that, even with Erik ten Hag, you're going to have to see them taking chances they don't want to take. And I will give you an eye-popping number. They have played 7 matches this year so far. 7 matches Man City has played. They've allowed 6 goals. Their collective expected goals against is under 4. They don't give up good chances over the course of a game. And while United has the talent to manufacture them, I don't know that they have the talent to stop them, even with Varane and the way things have been going a little bit better. So I like Man City in this one. However, I wouldn't want to be a bettor this weekend because after the international break, you never know what's going to happen, especially with the heightened emotions of a derby.
That's very, very true. And Andy, I mean, when it comes to United, obviously great last 4 games, 4 wins. Erik ten Hag has figured something out. Again, a grittiness, a sort of determination to defend first and then hit teams on the counter. We saw it against Arsenal, right? They were outplayed for a lot of that game, but took their chances, were clinical. Can you see that being a similar kind of game here and game plan from United under Erik ten Hag? It's not beautiful. It's not the total football he wants and loves and idolizes Pep Guardiola for, and it obviously worked under him at Bayern Munich with a reserve team. But that's what United are going to have to do, right? And kind of replicate that performance they had against Arsenal to get anything at City.
I don't care what it looks like for Manchester United this weekend. When you're facing City, who play the game the way that they play, you know what you're going to have to do. And that's what Manchester United are going to have to do in this game. They're going to have to defend, and they're going to have to look to get out on the counter. And it'll be interesting to see, what did they need more than anything in the world after they brought in a couple of late signings right before the deadline? They got Antony in, they got Casemiro in. They needed time. They needed time to work together for Erik ten Hag to blood these new players into the system and teach them and work with them. And obviously the international break has taken away a little bit of that, but they had an extra week in there that a lot of teams didn't have. And so I just wonder, we've already seen from ten Hag that he is willing to be flexible tactically. He's willing to change and do things differently for the betterment of the team and to get results. And if he's willing to do that, and he put in a couple of solid weeks of training with these players, and they are really starting to feel confident and comfortable, I think, playing under his ideas, then I would not be surprised to see Manchester United much more competitive than a lot of people probably want to say that they would be, or that it might look on paper. So I could see United making this a really, really, really interesting game. Probably City, going to nick it in the end, but it's going to be a lot closer than I think a lot of people would just look and say, United, they're a mess. Manchester City, arguably one of the greatest teams of all time. It's going to be a blowout. It's not.
Well, Nick, though, on the other hand, it's how on earth do you stop Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland right now? That's the issue, right? I mean, look at De Bruyne. He's almost gone under the radar because Haaland's been so good, scored so many goals in his debut season early on, 11 goals already in the Premier League. But look at De Bruyne's stats. He's already leading the Premier League in assists, expected assists, and chances created right now. And he's just taking the league by storm once again. And I don't know why I'm so surprised saying that, but somehow I am, because City have so many great players, but he is the constant. He's the gel that just knits everything together so smoothly. And his understanding of Haaland in particular is scary for any team they come up against in the Premier League. So do you think, if it is Varane and Lisandro Martinez, do you think they can stop Haaland, or is he pretty unstoppable right now? And it's a case of trying to hit City on the counter and then hoping for the best at the other end of the pitch.
Your best hope of stopping Erling Haaland is David De Gea. I mean, that's really it. It's funny because you kind of think about the criticism of Lissandro Martinez for being undersized. I think in a lot of ways that can be a bit of hogwash, if you will. Not today. I mean, when you're undersized against Holland. And the fact is, what Holland does so well is he moves across the pitch. He finds himself into position. So often we see him at these weird angles at the back post, whether he's leaping. I love when this guy leaps to use his foot in a position than the rest of us would leap to use the very top of our forehead. Absolute freak show. And De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, both of these guys right now, I think back to David Silva when we would think to ourselves, this guy goes away, but doesn't have a gaudy performance, and then just will throw up a performance that no one else in the world can match, that few people can. And that's what Kevin De Bruyne does. Whenever you think that he's just a cog in a machine, he cooks up like a 2-goal, 2-assist performance that leaves you thinking he's walking away with the ball. I always say it wrong. The Ballon d'Or.
Yes, you did it. So I think even if it's not Ballon d'Or extraordinaire Kevin De Bruyne, it's Foden, it's Grealish, it's Haaland. There's so many players there that can hurt you, right? Mahrez. I mean, Andy, what's your score prediction for this one? What's your kind of overall prediction for how this is going to go? You think City are going to edge it, right? Are we going to see another classic Manchester derby?
Maybe classic. It'll be fascinating to watch tactically. Like, it's going to be back. There's going to be periods of back and forth in it that are going to make City look, beatable, and that's going to be worrying, or that's going to throw some people off. I think. I do think in the end, though, yeah, it's like 2-1, and maybe they need a late goal to win it. But this, I just see this being a performance from United where we look back and say, all right, they've got something going now. Like, they are actually building something with, a very smart manager in place, a pretty good squad, still some work to be done. But I see a lot of progress from them. Like that performance against Arsenal, not trying to take too much from 90 minutes, but that performance against Arsenal, I think answered a lot of questions that we had about United.
Nick, score predictions?
Man City 2-1.
Okay. So you guys both going 2-1. I'm gonna go 2-2. I think
I knew it was it.
Yeah, I
couldn't resist.
I just think there's something about this United team right now. Resilient. They've got quality now. I like the point Andy made about they've had a bit of extra time to work on things. So I think they may impact City a little bit and surprise them a little bit if that's possible. And also the point that Nick made about after the international break, I think there's some weird results. It's probably a good time for United to play City as well. So yeah, I'm going for a draw, but I know what it's going to happen. There's going to be a great atmosphere at the Etihad. This game always delivers early in the season, and United are going to go into this with a lot of confidence after those recent victories. As I said, strange as it is, they win this and win their game in hand. They go above City, which is just crazy to me, given where they were a few weeks ago. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the preview of the Manchester derby, how to watch information, recap and analysis. The three gents on the screen will have you covered. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope you all enjoy the Manchester derby and all the Premier League games coming up this weekend.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.